Hi Mr. Hire. Today I'll be doing an experiment on how the centripetal force affects the apparent weight by changing the radius of a curve. Pick a single marble and then measure its mass. For each radius, I completed 3 trials in which I could then calculate the average mass that the marble had at the apex of the curve. By multiplying the mass of my marble at the apex of the curve by gravity, I was able to find the apparent weight of my marble, and I was then able to graph it. This graph is my experimental data from my lab. I converted my radius to meters and the mass of the marble to kilograms, and then I was able to find the velocity of the marble at the apex of the curve by using the conservation of energy. Using the velocity that I calculated using the conservation of energy, I was able to find the apparent weight by using the formula force equals mass times the centripetal acceleration. After I found the theoretical apparent weight of my marble at each of the radiuses, I was then able to graph the data and found that the apparent weight was theoretically the same for all of my radiuses. From my data, I was then able to calculate my percent error. An explanation for my error is that the scale was reading very slow and was not reading fast enough for it to calculate the exact apparent weight that the marble had when it reached the apex. To reduce my error, I could perform more trials for each radii to conclude a more accurate apparent weight for the marble at each radii. Because I was at home, I did not have a fast reading scale, and I had to makeshift a lot of my project, such as put rulers underneath my marble track so that it could be more supportive, and I had to put some storage bins underneath my track to keep it more supportive, and I used chairs and pillows as supports also, which is kind of weird, I guess. Limitation. My final conclusion is that the change in radius has no effect on the apparent weight, and the apparent weight will be the same for an object at all radii. However, the velocity increases as the radius increases.